Alright, let's take a look at the layout after the break, and here would be the 1 ball, here's the 2 ball, here's the 3 ball, here's the 4 ball. It's pretty easy to get to the 5 ball. I'm getting back on the 6 could be a problem. Here's the 7 ball, here's the 8, and the big problem with this rack is going to be from the 8 to the 9 ball. And now let's take a better look, and we can see the 2 ball line, and the big issue with this is getting right and getting on the left hand side of that 2 ball line so we can get down on the 3 ball and use a certain avenue not only to shoot the 3 but to get back on the 4. We're using the same highway system or whatever you want to call it for both the 3 and the 4. And you'll see me when I'm playing this out, I come a little bit on there. I drew it a little bit too much off the 2 ball and wound up on the side, the right hand side of the 3 ball line, which kind of, I didn't absolutely have to do this, but I did it anyway. It kind of made me shoot the 3 ball 2 rounds to get back on the 4, to get the right angle on the 4, in order to play the 5 ball line, actually the left hand side of the 5 ball line. So yeah, that's a little risky, and I don't recommend doing that. I should have went down to the bottom round, came back on line for the 4 ball, but I didn't. I went 2 rounds and kind of spun it out. And while getting on the 5 ball, it's important to get on the left hand side of the 5 ball line because we're going to be drawing the cue ball back on the 6 ball, not a power draw. You just want to draw back a little bit, but you want to take the risk of the scratch out of it, so you don't want to get straight in on the 5 ball line. You just kind of want to get on the left side and draw a little bit back up table while you're drawing. And if we go to the second half of the game, you can see we need an angle on the 6 in order to get to this side of the 7, but we want to get straight in on the 7. Now, if you come up short, it's not a big deal. Even if you go long and get on the right side of the 7 ball line, you can still get on the 8. It's just easier for me to try to get straight in and just draw back a little bit, not a lot. We're not trying to get to the rail on this 8 ball. Now, a lot of guys would play as close to as you can get to that 8 ball so they can just draw straight back on the 9. I don't like that idea for a couple of reasons. Or if you get an angle like I'm trying to get right here on the 8 ball, you could go 3 rails and back on the 9, and it would still be a viable plan. So there's different ways to do this. It just comes down to your own unique style. I like shooting a Z pattern on this 8 ball to get back on the 9 because I have a great big target on this left-hand side rail from here to here when I draw back on this 8. And I know if I do it hard enough, it's going to bounce off that left-hand side rail and get perfect on the 9. Now, again, that's just my style, guys. That's just what I like to do. I like shooting that shot because I have a big target for the cue ball. If you're not comfortable with that and just want to draw it straight back, then go ahead and get as straight in as you can on the 8. But if you get an angle, you can also go 3 rails, and it's okay. I think it's just a little more risky of that scratch in the corner. It just comes down to what you're comfortable doing. Whoa. Okay, let's do another one. Alright, well, the ladies want to chat for a second, and yep, the women just can't get enough of me, guys. I'm sorry about this. Let's take a look at what we have here. And here's the cue ball, and here would be the 1, the 2, and here's the 3 ball, and yeah, I know you're looking at that combination. And here's the 4, and there's the 5, and here's the 6, and here's the 7, here's the 8, and here's the 9. Not the simplest of racks here, and you're going to see we run into a little bit of trouble. Yeah, it's never fun starting a game with the combination, but we don't have much choice here. We have to know that 1 ball's going to go right, the cue ball's going to go a little less right than right. Yep, this is why I don't shoot these things. But anyway, when we take care of the 1-3 combination, we're shooting a 1 again, of course. And then we're going from the 2 to the 4 and back on the 5. So you can see the beginning pattern is a lot like last game. This is the highway we're going to be using to take care of the first 5 balls. But the real problem we have with the rack is the 6, 7, and 8. I don't like this at all, and I'm going to explain why right here. Alright, so the original plan was to get straight in and hit a stop shot on the 5 and just have the right angle on the 6 to bounce off the side rail and get straight in again on the 7 and hit a stop shot on the 7 and just roll up for position on the 9 ball. Well, I got a little to the left-hand side of the 5 ball line, and now the plan is to get on the right-hand side rail and just stun the 6 ball out to get straight in on the 7 ball and continue the same plan. But that didn't work out either, and I come up short, and I still get a little bit of an angle on the 6, but it's not enough. So now I'm shooting the 7 ball in the top left-hand corner of the table in order to again get right on the 8 ball and get straight in and just roll it up for the 9 ball. But that didn't quite work out either, and I'm just going to let the tape roll so you can see what happens at the end of this game. I'm going to give you an outro of me playing an action match in April. It got really, really serious and involved the fragile male egos and a little bit of nonsense in here. But I want to tell you a story about my next video coming up, and I'll be talking more about this. Jasmine Ocean, pro female pro player, was commentating on a Predator Tour match and brought up the issue of having 4 pool tables in her house. So the Oceans are doing quite well for themselves, apparently. And I don't know if all these tables are different sizes, so they can get used to different tables for different tournaments, or what they're doing. But yeah, they have 4 pool. I don't even know if this is illegal. I'm sure it is. But anyway, they have 4 pool tables in their house. That's just like an afterthought here. That kind of shocked me. But she brings up a fascinating topic about playing and thinking that you played bad when you didn't really play that bad. And this is where video cameras come in and show you the truth of the matter. You can leave a match thinking you played god awful when you actually played great pool. And so things get a little distorted in your head, and what you're thinking about your own pool game may not be the reality of the situation. And I'm going to be talking about this in my next video, just because it's a mental aspect of the game, and I think it's absolutely fascinating, and it's the God's honest truth. So, yeah, I know I didn't word that correctly, and you might be a little bit confused, but I'll straighten it all out in my next video. I just wanted to mention that. So, let's go on with the outro. Peace, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
That's game, right? Well, it would have been. I thought it was dead, didn't you?
No.
I can get over far enough, really, but I didn't shoot hard enough, did I?
It's just a game.
Yeah. It's just a game. A good game, too. You think?